Hey everybody, welcome to the Heady Chronicle. I'm your host, Dan Ulloa. I'm also the editor and publisher of Heady NJ, where we do cannabis community news here in the Garden State. Covering politics, culture, and business, and all the dispensary openings, all the great things happening, the interesting things happening. But Garden State, is only so big of a place when we live in like a more global society. So, I wanted to talk to my boy here, Mario, the CEO of iBudget and Conbud. Welcome, Mario.
Thank you for having me, my brother. Always excited to talk to you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, so like Mario has a lot of like good experience in New York. He worked with High Times, Underground Legacy to Legal, now a lot of experience in show business. I'm trying to learn show business, make the show here. Instead of just being like a writer, for example, it's a whole thing to learn. We're making progress. I got my baby mic here. I got like a little set going in my office here in Essex County. And I got a little costume, maybe trying to dress up with shirts, my
I love it.
customary hat. So here we
I
are.
love it.
So thank you. Yeah. So tell us about yourself, then, Mario.
I love it. I love it. One, I love cannabis. It's my passion. Other than loving graffiti art, I love my art, love painting. But one thing I'm passionate about is this cannabis and this plant of ours. Love this from the beginning. I'm a veteran from the Navy and the Marine Corps. 16 years altogether. um, New Yorker, but I put myself more as a worldly person. I love to travel, been everywhere, a lot of places. I'm here in Jersey now too. I'm back and forth from New York to Jersey always. I love to travel, so I don't know where I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? Every
Nice.
day I wake up with another place I would love to be. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't.
Right. Yeah, you have such interesting experience. Not only
There's some other type of stuff, some weed, some younger kids, some weed and definitely in the building. Growing up in the '70s, people were taking the fucking pills and stuff way back then. Like there's no. It's just that maybe a different type of weed or different type of drug that they take, but they were taking like uppers and things, and they just changed to like Adderall now.
yeah, you would
But
probably
back in
know
the
what a
day, it was just called
quaalude is,
uppers.
which I learned from Wolf of Wall Street, that they even like stopped
Yeah, they took
those.
a lot of mescaline. There was a lot of mescaline me
Oh,
growing up.
mescaline's interesting. But yeah, where did you,
Yes,
Mario? Where are you from though in the city?
I'm from Manhattan. I'm from 158th Street and Riverside Drive.
Oh shit, Spanish Harlem.
Yeah, no, Spanish Harlem is more like 125 East Side. So it was like Riverside had its own little
Oh,
thing.
okay, that's
We
cool.
were more Riverside Drive, so it was like it wasn't called Spanish
Oh,
Harlem.
fair enough. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
Jersey
yeah, it was
boy.
more like if you like, and it's like right in between, like how they say, uptown. You know what I mean? Like it was just like right there. Uptown is more like 167, 70 and up. And it was like, well, we were 158 in Broadway, 100 and Riverside Drive, and then like yeah, the other side was Autobound, Amsterdam, Autobound, and I would go straight to Yankee Stadium. You could go right from 155th Street, cross over because it's very special there because it has the big two cemeteries there. So it like divides up there from 96th Street all the way to 145th, 145. It sort of divides it because of the cemeteries. They're so big, they're massive. Those churches, so 158 to 176, different than Fort Washington.
Oh, okay,
So,
nice.
so yeah, so 150 at Riverside. I always said I was the luckiest guy because like hip hop was basically born right there. I had all these little things that we were in the Bronx. I was right there by the projects, but I didn't live in the projects. We lived in the tallest building, and the building was famous for that. People hung out in my building because of
Oh,
that.
nice. That's
And
cool.
so I got to read a lot of graffiti writers, and then the smoke, and
Yeah,
you
how'd
know,
you get into like
I,
weed and like legacy stuff then?
real fast. 15 years old, I was already running.
Oh
I was already
shit.
called like I was already like my aunt was like, "Hey, go get me a nickel bag from up the block." You know, go get me this. They never told me to go get a nickel bag. I'd be lying about that. They would say something like, "Go to Tony, tell him that I sent you." You know what I mean? And then
That's a very
Tony would give it
unique
to me,
ant, one way or another.
and yeah, that's it. And then I go give it, and I go pick it up, and that's how I started. I'd be like, "Hey, What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? I'll do it.
Nice.
You need a favor? I would literally go up and tell people like that. People are hanging out, be like, "Yo, you guys want me to go get anything for you from the store? $2. I charge $2. Like I would charge, and everybody
Businessman, no
would give it to
doubt.
me. Yeah, and then people started doing the hustle. I had my own newspaper route. My father would come with me, and I would do the newspaper route, and I would do the delivery and pick it up and drop it off. So because of that, I found they would throw away all these magazines. Back in the day, people would collect them and throw away all these newspapers and magazines. You don't really see that much no more because people don't do that no
No,
more
they
as
don't.
much, you
I've
know?
thought of that a lot, actually.
Yeah, but they collected all that paper. So we were playing. I'm 15 years old, playing manhunt, running around all crazy on 158th Street. And one of my best friends, his father was the super. Everybody had like basement clubs. Back, all these buildings have little clubs and little nooks where the kids hang out. Now they don't have it like that because people they weren't robbing people in that way. People were a little bit more open that way. But now, I remember when my father put his first gates on the window,
Oh shit.
you know? Like in the 80s, he was like, we're going to have to put gates in the window. We were like, what the fuck is that? Because I used to like stick my head out the window, talk.
Oh
It was a
wow.
part of communication. And they were like, what do you mean you can't look out the window no more like that?
That's intense. So
So,
you've probably seen like the whole thing of like New York slumping to then like, okay, Giuliani, I guess some of this is good. And now it's like, oh wow. Like Soho is
oh my
hella
God, no!
bougie.
When Giuliani came, if you were a normal person, you thanked him for that. Yeah, I was so happy. I hated that my mother couldn't go outside in the 80s, or my aunt, we used to be able to hang out outside. Then crackheads came, and then now you couldn't come. You
Yeah,
got
they
to watch
really
out.
say the crack epidemic
These
was really the
crackheads might
worst.
flash, and it was like more than a crackhead. It was just like somebody who's mental on crack. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah,
seen
so then
some
you have
smart
like
ass.
mental. It's like cannabis, where it's like you have people trying to self-medicate with like a substance that may help
Yeah,
them, but then they don't know. They don't know the right kind. Of course, like crack's
you might
obviously
get all
like
nervous.
terrible. The sacred herb of cannabis can definitely help you. We always say, an indica, is not the same as a sativa. If you want to be chatty or you want to like chill,
That's
so
right.
it's always
That's right.
important that way. It's
So,
difficult the nature of self-medication, but yeah, so that's cool. So you were old. Yeah,
so
you're a little older than me there that way. I won't say
yeah.
how old I was in the 80s.
There you go. See, I graduated high school in 1984. So, and when I was 15, I playing manhunt. I found a stack of no, everybody found magazines, and my friends found Playboy magazines, Hustler magazines, all the dirty magazines. Right? I found High Times. That's just my life. Everybody grabbed all the naked girls. All the older guys grabbed
Oh,
Just My
there
magazines.
you
That
go. Yeah,
I
that's
got stuck with
cool.
High Times. I remember my friend Louie telling me like, "Yo, make sure you give me those fucking magazines." And you don't know nothing about that. Give me that shit. And because he said that, I like ran away with them, thinking I got a treasure. You know what I mean? Because he was pushing me to take them from me, so I had to. I wanted to just grab something. You know what I mean? Like. And everybody grabbed the Playboy magazines, this magazine, and I grabbed the High Times. I went home and fell in love. It was over. I looked at that magazine, and it was like a big thing to me because I was coming from the crack epidemic in the 80s. I'm chilling now. I'm 16 in the magazine, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking at it. My brother's 4 years younger than me. He would look out for everything. I'm like, me and him would team up. Like, you can't find nothing. No, my parents can't find this. We got to hide this. My mother was all in my room, I'm all in it. And we got to hide this. I had a little hiding spot for my marker, too. They didn't want me writing on the wall, so I had to hide everything. And my mother was always like, I always smell like ink in here. It smells like ink. And if I find that ink, I'm going to pour it on your head. And she would threaten me. You better not be writing on the walls. I had my aunt would be like, I don't want you robbing the spray paint. Go buy them. Here's $6 and buy your spray paint and do your art. Don't get caught. And don't mess nobody's stuff up. And I told her about why we were writing on it. It's like, we need art programs, Then I got the art, and I found my High Times. The High Times had an art thing in there. It had a little thing that if you send them the art, they might put it in the page. And people would send it. They would make little jokes, little stuff. So I started doing High Time pieces and sending it to them. and they wouldn't answer me back. They didn't answer me back for like, I think I was 19 when they answered me back. For 4 years, I did it. And they answered me back and said, "You're invited to this event." They sent me a fucking letter. Man, I used to have that letter. I lost it in a
Oh
flood.
God.
And I got my letter, and I knew that letter was going to be a problem. I got it because I knew how already High Times was. As a kid, I already knew how, I was already a hustler. By the time I was 19 years old, man, I was already clocking hard. And like,
Yeah, tell us more about like High Times then. So you went to the event and then like you got big in there at one point.
well, that's how that got into it. That's how I got into it because the world around me was all crack dealers and cocaine dealers, right? But I had this magazine, and this magazine had the power to say, you can grow your own weed.
That's a big issue. Home
You
gardening.
can grow your own, you know what I mean? And then I saw how, I remember I was a runner real young. I knew how everybody wanted weed. I was like, everybody wants weed. And I could grow it. And I don't have to get beat up by the cocaine dealers and all that. Oh shit, could I grow it? And there you go. Da, 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 da. High Times. After that, I never left anything. I got every single magazine from back then. And they invited me at 19. And from that day that they invited me there, I never left. I never left. I met Rick. I met
Rick Cusick.
Rick.
Shout out to Rick Cusick, former
Yes,
publisher.
that's right.
The
Shout
Jersey
out to
guy.
my man. He's the one that put me on. He's the first guy who blessed me. He was the guy who put me, Danny, on, all of us. But it was all separate. He met me separate. I didn't know Danny yet. He put me on to go pick up all the magazines that didn't sell. That was my job. Pick up all the magazines downtown, the Village. Oh man, I was the man. I worked for High Times Magazine, picking up all the magazines.
That's an
I
interesting
would
thing
have to
about
take it.
logistics of a magazine. Goddamn. Yeah, I kind of like Heady being like digital now. Like a magazine. Like I was just looking at my old Rolling Stone 40th anniversary from '07, but still, like I like digital. We're able to like not have the paper. It's cheaper for a humble hustler like me that way. You got to have scale like that.
Everything
That's like a dispensary almost magazines. That's another story
by the
for a little later.
by the time they called me and they said they invited me, I was already growing. And I only bought everything from the magazine. It was not like I knew anybody else to go get it from. And they would even tell you, don't go buy it here. If you do buy it, walk. Make sure you don't go to a place that's going to recognize you and might tell on you. You know what I mean? It would
Oh,
tell
like
you all this
legacy
stuff. So I
secrets
was like,
for copying, I guess,
yes,
consuming
man,
a
it was amazing.
purchasing underground legacy weed. That's funny.
Yes. And so I knew all
The
those little
nature of
tricks and I
hash.
would
Yeah, you
follow those
probably learned about
rules.
the nature of hash tweak or like what that is or good hash.
Yes, I was doing hash immediately. They taught me how to do it. Fingerprints, man. If you go back to the old magazines, they were very informed. They told you how much a gun cost, how much this cost in every state, how much the ounces cost. They broke it
Yeah,
down.
I guess they really
So
were
it
able to
was
like
like
do that. That'd be like an interesting thing to figure out the price of like legacy, the price of legacy
well,
weed.
everybody would send it to them. Everybody
Oh,
would
there you
send
go.
it to
You'd
you.
build a network.
You're
Yeah.
a High Times, and you would get a lot of mail. So then that's my second job. That's how I got in there little by little. I was picking it up with Rick, and I was working, and then Matt Stang, who owns it now, one of the owners with Josh now, he was working for them. I got him. Me and him started working, and me and him walked in there together. And I know, man, he got his job. I was still working. He called me back and was like, "Come and work with Mary Jane." And I became event coordinator. And when I told him, I said, "Hey, man, you guys are so corporate. High Times is so corporate that everybody wants to go to after parties after this, and you guys are saying no to all these events." And he goes, "Well, why don't you just do one?" I go, "Well, all right, I'm gonna call it I Bud You." He's like, "Oh, I love that," and he blessed me, and he put my name, I Bud You, in the magazine. That was crazy. Now I have my own thing. It was my sticker in there. I was sticking it up everywhere. He was like, "Yeah, we love what you're doing." And then he just gave me that big, I used to walk around with this big High Times fucking everything High Times. I was like, "I'm High Times." And I loved it. I didn't care about anybody, where it was illegal. I was trying to bring illegal from day one. From day one. So, a quick jump, 1984. I leave to 1985, graduate 1984. I'm already High Times. I'm already crazy High Times. But it was illegal like that. You know that you could get arrested for having a magazine back then?
Yeah, somebody did say that. Yeah, the '80s was
It's
really like
probable
intense for
cause.
them. Yeah, I was. What's his name?
Yeah, you can't get arrested for the magazine actually, but it's probable cause.
Yeah, it's like
and they would
paraphernalia,
take
the
it.
nature of that. Yeah, it definitely got
Yeah,
like Reagan was definitely trying to like crack down on them.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like
like a whole history there.
if you had easy widers back in the day, you have bamboo back in the day. It's probable cause right there for them.
Wait, literal
You know what I mean?
bamboo, you're saying? Wait, what?
No, the bamboo papers.
Oh, rolling papers. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't even know about that brand.
Bamboo?
See, there
No,
was
I
a
never heard
brand.
of bamboo. The rolling paper, we
There was
got vibes, we got
the
tuxedos.
original papers was bamboo and easy widers.
I never heard of that one either. What even they were like really
Wow.
big, the nature of
And raw rolled them over because back in the day you couldn't say that the papers were for cannabis.
right, yeah, yeah. There used to be a lot of places
Nobody said it
around
was for
that,
cannabis.
like tobacco use only. That was a fun sign for the weed pipes.
Tobacco use only, right? You know why Raw is so big with us and why he just dominated? Because he's the first one to say it was for cannabis. He's like, my papers are for cannabis. We all rushed it. We all just gave him all the money we had because he said that. He's the first one. I know everybody who said it the first time.
Right, that's always
I was with
interesting,
High
like the
Top.
waves of legalization, like the different ways we
Yeah.
try with different manners.
I know the first advanced nutrient is the only nutrients to grow cannabis. That was the first one to say for cannabis use only.
Wait, say that again?
Advanced
Who are they?
nutrients. Those are the
Oh, the
nutrients to grow
nutrients.
cannabis.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing about
Yeah, so
science. Yeah.
people use nutrients all over the place, right? But they go run and use Fox Farm. They use this, they use that, but you don't know that those people always said it wasn't for them. If you go look at Fox Farm, it has the tomatoes on it. It doesn't have cannabis. But if you go to Advanced Nutrients, cannabis only. Guess what I was growing? Cannabis only
There you
brands.
go.
Fuck everybody, right? But those brands all had to fight the legal
Right,
system, fight the stigma, all those guys. So it was hard for them to
right,
make it because they had to write tobacco use only.
right. No, it's definitely hard. Yeah,
So so
like the eras of the witch
so
hunt and
those
prohibition and like the thawing and the different
yeah.
ways over the years. It's intense. It's intense. It's always so interesting to learn about growing. I may or may not have sold some bags to friends that way. I'm it's always like different though, like a green thumb.
I left to the nitty wanted weed in that way. They still wanted weed, and I was all into the weed, but not really. It was heroin, cocaine, and then cannabis was all the way down to the bottom because you made so much money that the drug dealers they don't want weed around you. That's why I said that people. I say cannabis saved my life because they don't know where I come from and they don't know what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is that cannabis saved my life because I didn't, like I said, I found that I could grow it myself. I could have my own little power instead of being in the hood. You're in the neighborhood and your peers really does matter. Because it'll get you in, like it's telling you, yo, I got this drug money. Like my friend had like 6 Mercedes Benz. He was selling heroin. Crack dealer. My crack dealer friend was making $600,000 a week
Yeah, that's a lot of
selling
money,
crack
but
cocaine.
crack is really bad. That's difficult. So yeah.
You don't see that. No, but you don't see it. You don't see that when you have the $600,000 a week. You don't see that. You're blind. All you see is the money. It's in your face. You're like, how could it be bad if all these people are lining up for it? That's how it was. How do you think a crack dealer gets to that? He doesn't. He doesn't. He's like, yo, my teacher is asking for it. The priest is asking for it. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, it was a
Yeah, that's
crack
why they say
epidemic.
epidemic. But yeah, let's move on to like cannabis, I guess.
But there you
And
go. But that's what I'm saying. That's how I saved my weed. The weed came and saved my life because I didn't have to do that. I never went that way. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay here with my nickel bag and my dime bags. This is what I sell. I sell $200 an ounce. Those guys sell $50,000 an ounce. You know what I mean? Like, just the numbers are so different in cannabis, and just the way it is. Meanwhile, you get the same for cannabis if you're a heroin dealer. So a lot of the drug dealers are like, you might as well just sell this then.
oh, because it's the same crime as like a felony back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just fucked
same
up to
crazy
have like a
felon.
Schedule One narcotic and trying to like separate the sacred herb from like fucking crack and fucking opium.
Yeah, man. How could they not done that already?
Yeah. So yeah,
Like we have a fight to go with everything. We have a lot of fight with our beloved cannabis. Well, that one kicks the hell out of me. Like the president said that right now. We got a big push. Thank God they're even saying it out of their mouth. Anybody,
Yeah, the nature of
right? The
Trump is
other guy,
difficult because like we want you to say something, but then we want you to say descheduling, and then everything else you say seems to be bullshit. So then it's really difficult.
everything else is
It's
bullshit.
really difficult because like a
Yeah,
lot of people wanted progress under Biden, so it's like really difficult. Like we got like very very little progress, but I guess very very little is still better than nothing. But then like I feel like that's the thing about like Bernie Sanders was like running for president, like saying on day one I will deschedule weed, we will legalize weed. Versus like this guy did it 2 fucking years into his term during the midterm elections was like when like Biden made that announcement that Bernie said he would do. And then he sort of like let a
yeah,
meandering process die. So then it's difficult, like the nature of Biden. But yeah, we're still trying to like descheduling. We take it off the Controlled Substances Act, the CSA. The CSA is the list. We have marijuana Schedule 1, cocaine Schedule 2. No, all the schedules are fucking bullshit. We need the states to
yeah.
regulate it. We need the states to work together and under descheduling for like a legal like market. And I think that's like it would bring us justice and the prosperity that like everybody's like looking for. But like it's difficult.
Exactly. It would really make it the green rush that
Oh,
they
the
want,
green rush.
that
Yeah.
they say. You know what I mean? Because they like have it all. Even right now, all investors, everybody who ever invested in cannabis is like a fucking gunslinger. You know what I mean? It's like the Wild Wild
Oh
West
yeah.
in it, and you're like this gunslinger going for it because the regulations are so crazy, this and that, and who the hell wants to invest in something well, it's still illegal federally.
Right, so that's always like the thing where it's like we all need investors. Like this market isn't what it wants, like we need it to be. But the same token, like if they do legalize it, like what kind of like multi-billionaire like fascist jerk off is gonna get in on this? So then it's like difficult because it really is like a certain thing where there are like the values around the plant and like like people aren't like Marxist doctrinaire socialists here, but there are like a lot of good community values here, a lot of like taking care of people, like understanding. Like I can smoke weed with like a guy in a suit, like a charming shark that way. I'll smoke a joint in the alley that way, with a brother that way. I'll do like I love that weed brings people together from across like the social like spectrum of society
That's
that
one
way in a
thing.
way that really booze doesn't and other
Yes.
drugs certainly do not. Oh, there you go. What are you smoking there? Then?
You know what? This is a family, but this is I bud juice salad. It's just a mix of everything that was in my
Oh,
my
fair enough.
grinder.
Yeah,
But talking about that, I love the event that we did. That was amazing. The women had so much great to say, and I can't believe how we joined people together. I really love the way we moving like that. And that goodie bag that they gave us, the gift bag, all that weed in there was amazing. I said, wow, Jersey weed is fucking no joke. Matter of fact, the next 3 days, I was like, damn it, I need that weed. Bazooka, where are you? Bazooka, where
nice.
are you? And very, very well done. I could say Jersey is kicking ass with the weed. We could say a lot of stories that we had, and I try to put people in perspective. I'm like, what I've had to
Yeah,
do for it. And Jersey, I got caught in Jersey. You know that I did five
yeah, that's
years here in
intense.
Jersey for the plant. You know what I mean? I fought the whole way, advocated inside. I think I did change some judges a little bit. They did give me mandatory stuff, like they couldn't pass it or whatever. Which, like to this day, we're still fighting in Jersey to grow.
Yeah,
Shout out to my boys over there in Bayonne. The Sativa Cross team. They're always fucking fighting for that. I always praise them for that. And like we need it, man. We need it. That's one thing. Like that New York, why I ran over to New York to go open up first, because I wanted to open up in Jersey after the 5 years they took from me. I felt like, hey, might as well open here right away, right? But I just couldn't do it without growing. Like, dude, I can't grow my
yeah,
own thing here. Like,
yeah,
what the
yeah. This
hell?
has like been like a whole thing here for like since like I've been getting into this. Like we cannot grow legally. our own cannabis. Like we cannot garden in the garden state, the sacred herb. It's like everyone's pissed about it.
I can't
Like it's
believe
really
that.
difficult where we have like it's like the two sides of like the lovable potheads with values and the greedy fucking sharks and the shady politicians that like them. They were able to get in on their cause early in on New Jersey.
You
It's
know,
been very difficult like since then.
you know what I tell those politicians and I tell those people that they really don't know anything about the herb and they don't know anything about cannabis. That if you let the people grow, they will even get more taxes because the dispensaries will even be more full. Because in New York City, they let everybody grow, right? But when everybody tried to grow, they said, "Oh hell no! We're gonna let the farmers grow what they do." And now the dispensaries are nice and getting a lot. They get that people always coming in like, "Hey, I try to grow, but I don't
Oh
know what
yeah.
you're talking."
Yeah, you gotta be
It's
like
not
a
an
whole
easy
thing. You gotta
journey as
get
a
fucking lights to do it well. It's like a whole thing. Like even like if you like gardening, it's fucking hard. It's not
farmer.
like tomatoes.
Once you open up your babies, you can't leave no more. That's it. This is your farm. This is who you got. You can't be going around the world. You have a farm to tend to, different than a lot of other businesses. Because once you have those plants
Yeah.
growing, those are your babies. What are you going to leave? Where are you going? Like these are your babies. That's it. And so that's the whole thing to me with like big difference between Jersey right now. That hey, Jersey, get that together and don't even worry about it. They think they're going to lose money by people all running to go grow. But that's farther. That's look in California. Why are they still
Oh,
dispensaries? Why are they
California is a whole
dispensaries? All
story
these
on like the
places
nature
that
of
are master growers are
legalization.
there
It was
because
underregulated under medical, overregulated on adult use. Like you got the Northern Triangle, the Emerald Triangle.
they they fell asleep over there. They signed that 64 code over there. That thing they signed, and they lost all the rights that they had. It was beautiful in California. We had all the rights. We had medical. It was great. You could smoke wherever you want. You smoke in your medical herb. Get your card. Relax. You could grow 100 pounds if you wanted. If your doctor said you needed to grow it, that was over. They had it beautiful. If we would have copied that scenario, everybody would be growing, and they would be getting all their taxes. Remember that because not everybody knows how to grow. Matter of fact, us consumers, they don't know us as consumers because think about it. I love going to a new farm. It's like going to a new restaurant to me or a new like winery,
Yeah, like wine.
right? Like if you compare it to alcohol, that's how it would be. I'm gonna go for a wine test. Well, that's how we are. We love our farmer. Like, hey, what do you got? Skittles? You got the Skywalker? Wow, this is what you grew? We love to know where that person came from and grew in the farmer and then taste it and be able to say, wow, I tasted this good herb that this man grew. And that's amazing because I don't know how to grow. And that's how most people are like 80%, more. Well, who
Yeah.
2% of the industry are the people who grow. So not everybody's going to grow. If you grow a little plant at home, right? By the time you bud that plant,
Yeah, it's a lot
where are
of
you
work
going to
to
go? You're going to go
grow.
to a
It's like a
dispensary in
funny
between.
thing that
So
way,
there,
unfortunately.
I would like to give them a good shaking.
Yeah, it's
Shake the
difficult.
fucking
Oh,
whoever I
who
have
do
to
you have to
shake
shake? His name is Nick Kuchavi.
because yeah, I wrote to him while I was in jail back in 2017, 2018,
Oh, really?
2019. I wrote to him. He wrote me back every single time. Yeah, he wrote me back every single time, and he told me, Mario, at this time, these are the laws, and I cannot help you. Uh, we are fighting for them, and
Oh,
one
he
day
said
we
he
will,
like did
we
he
will,
endorse
win.
homegrown a letter? I would love to publish
That he
that.
told me that. I would have. I
uh,
had it. They took once again. I was in jail. I couldn't get it. You know what I mean? And he
it's
said, like, we're
difficult.
gonna
Like
go
we have
forward.
made
Like
progress
he
with
said
the
that.
whole thing, but
Yeah.
then like it's really
He was
hard
like,
in
keep your.
New Jersey.
He said, keep your head up. I wrote him again. I said, hey, I'm still here. He was like, keep your head up. He wrote me 3 times. He wrote me back. I could say that every
Oh, you know
politician that
what?
I wrote
You're
to
in Jersey now. You're
wrote
in
me back.
Pagoda. We could figure out who your legislator is. That would be interesting to write them specifically.
Yeah,
Oh damn, I could look that up.
yeah.
I could look it up on my phone. I don't want to. We have a whole screen going here for
From
our video episode.
20. from 2017 to 2022, I wrote to every person I could get my hands on, writing, to them and telling them what I was in there for,
Nice.
and to come and get me out. Jessica Gonzalez answered me back. Leo Bridgewater answered me back. You were on it. People were on it. And I really appreciate that. Lawyers were on it. People pass by me and they try to help me.
Right.
Mods Pod try to help me. People try to help me. So I could say thank you to New Jersey. They really, really put up 3,000 signatures, came into the jail when I got arrested the first day from people who I don't know. So I love Jersey for that. They were like amazing. Altogether, now High Times is owned by Josh and another person. They called me to say, hey, definitely want to
Yeah, it's
work together.
interesting the nature of
So
High
I'm
Times
happy
coming
about
back
that.
under Josh. It seems like they're trying
I,
to really get the band back together. Steve Bloom, he edited a couple of my articles. Former High Times article. I think is like back there doing some stuff. Shout out to Steve Bloom. I think Danny might even be doing
yeah.
something.
Yeah, Steve Bloom, definitely another person who looked out for me, always running around, helping me, wrote articles about me in his thing, his newsletter. Yeah, he's always looked out for me. Uh, so that's one person who I always shout out to. And if
Yeah,
he
so they're
knows
bringing a
anything
whole
he
cup
needs,
to Jersey. I got
he has to
about
just
to get
call
my
me.
own indica flower kit. I'll be telling people about more later. They got a whole show going, so we'll see how it goes. I've always been at the
Yeah, yeah,
grindstone of
let's get it,
cannabis in
get it.
Jersey
Well,
here versus like going elsewhere to study. Oh, how does it work in New York? How did it work out 10 years ago in California? So it's always interesting to learn these things about like the more national perspective that way, more experience perspective.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, when you're in it and you're doing it, and shit, I
It's
was
a hell
bringing
of
three
work.
thousand
Goddamn.
pounds a
Oh yeah,
week
so I
from
looked up.
over
Oh
there
yeah, I looked up
into the
your
city.
legislator. Actually, this
Yeah,
is really good. So your Pagoda, your new home, is in the 37th legislative district, which is
yeah.
represented by Democrats. So they might be receptive. Actually, Gordon Johnson is your state senator, and your assembly
Oh,
people are named Shama Hader and Ellen Park. Yeah, they're newer legislators that way. It'd be really interesting for then you to reach out to them because that's really how we've been doing this. It's like district by district. We haven't found many activists, unfortunately, in Nick Scutari's
this
district in Union County, New Jersey. That includes Linden and all the way to Clark. Wait, no, I'm saying so we need
Why
like
don't you run
activists in
for
like
it?
the different parts. So we have like we've made progress. We got Chris Goldstein of Burlington, got State Senator Troy Singleton of Burlington. Jeff King of Monmouth got Senator Bingo Paul of Monmouth, a good guy that way. So they've been really championing it. I introduced, I believe I did actually do this. I introduced Andrea Rabel, now like a noted activist to Joe Vitale of Middlesex. He represents her home in Woodbridge. So it's always interesting. Throughout the map you can see,
Yeah, yeah,
Woodbridge here. Burlington, Monmouth that way. So yeah, we're making progress bit by bit, but it's hard. A lot of people that like the shark lobbyists like had like big clients that just wanted to
of
make money
course.
on it. Like they're happy by now, so they're not really in the fight. Because I was on the legalization campaign. I'm proving. I represent Latino Action Network on the legalization campaign
Yeah.
led by the ACLU. Shout out ACLU NJ.
ACLU, they also they didn't help me like what I thought they
Yeah.
could help me with, but they answered me back, and I respected that. They told me how it was, no playing, and try to guide me to go places.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. They've
They
been
answered
like
back. They're
spearheading the
definitely
campaign.
advocates,
Like
man.
Diana Wayne was leading the campaign before she entered before she was part of the Murphy administration of our former governor Phil Murphy. We had Lon had another representative on the legalization campaign then. And we also had Lazaro Cardenas, Cookie Rivera, shout out to them. Part of the Latino Action Network. It's like long time effort. So like I joined the effort 2019, 2020, and it was part of like the referendum and then the implementation for our new law, and then like the law that's been governing the whole market, the Cannabis Regulatory Enforcement and Marijuana Modernization Act, CREMA. So it's a lot of letters, Karima, and then I think it's a. I've been at the forefront of this, covering this like intense like effort. So we've made progress. Obviously on dispensaries, we have nearly 300 dispensaries. We've definitely made progress. Not as much progress on flour, for example, on products and price. We're making incremental progress on that, and that's why I was curious. Like, how do you find like New York to be? Like comparing and contrasting it to New Jersey, I'm really curious about that.
Well, when I first got in, now that I got the dispensary, when I first got in, it was a little not as many vendors, I guess, call them, vendors and like just brands that were coming out. So I started like 239 real quick. Like I think 2 months in, it was at 539. Then right now, a year later, we've been open a year and 2 months. We're going to 1,032 different type of vendors now. So we're getting a lot of different styles, a lot of things, edible wise, like so many things from popcorn
Oh,
to
popcorn, huh?
the chocolates, the so many everything food. Yeah, yeah, popcorn. They're so creative on everything that they come out with. Like a lot of, I try to steer away my menu, not just gummies. So I want all that other thing that they're doing. They got the honey, the
Yeah, honey is something is
so
fun.
many
So now
things
it's like fun to see
that they're
like things
coming
that are
out
on
with,
the
right?
legacy market being like the regular legal market. Honey would be something I haven't seen. I've seen it in Legacy Jersey. I haven't seen it
Yeah,
legit yet. That's cool. They got it in New York.
yeah. So all that is coming. They're giving those licenses out. So all those guys who were, legacy, they see that they got to go. They got to go one way. There's only one way, or they're going to get wiped out
Yeah, that's
sooner
the
or later.
difficult see,
They're
like,
not going
with
to
New
be
York
part of the
made, like, a
industry.
little
It's
more
just going to
progress
happen.
than us,
You know?
they press a lot after us, I think, Kathy Hochul as the governor has, like, leaned into it, like, a lot more
Yeah,
than, like, Phil Murphy, like, leaned into cannabis. She was trying to make, like, progress, and then there seemed to have been, like, a lot of
yeah,
these, like, lawsuits and stops, but then I guess, like, progress has been steady. But then, like, then they changed, like, the OCM, I guess. It's interesting comparing and
yeah,
contrasting, like, the OCM is the Office of Cannabis Management, and they have a controlled cannabis control board. Here in Jersey, we have the Cannabis Regulatory Commission. It's like the same organization of both. And then, like, it's really interesting to see, like, how it works that way, like, who they had there. They had an assemblywoman in charge over there in New York. I met her, seemed like a lovely lady. Diana was like, gotta give it credit to like Murphy. Diana really was like a lawyer, pushed the
yeah.
campaign, joined his administration. She just stepped down. We have a new governor now. It's interesting.
We've had some we've had some great people there. There's always going to come. This is a brand new industry. We're 3 years in New York, right? Like, come on, like we are going into 4 years. We are doing great. I think that we're doing great. They're moving forward all the time. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
there's some people who are going to complain, hey, they're not moving fast enough, they're not this. But they save me. That they don't understand that what the process is of getting open, right?
Oh,
I
if
didn't
only
even
it was so
understand it. I was
easy.
like, oh, just give me the keys and let me run. Yeah, that's how illegal guys. That's how the illegal guys do it, right? Hey, I already have the cannabis. Let me get the lease and let me just go. But they have so many regulations
Oh
that
yeah.
that really price people out. Like you couldn't just open up. Hey,
Oh yeah. I'm running
I got the
Hetty on a
lease
fucking
money, right?
shoestring. I don't
And
know
I'll
how any
figure
of these
everything
people are
else out.
getting like
Not with
400
them.
grand open as a good deal. Go fuck yourself. Like if this is my office at home, we're running. We got a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
beautiful office
exactly,
here.
exactly.
Like this is like a whole process of planning board and like, oh my god. Like I get,
Exactly. So I'm happy that the way they're going and the cannabis is coming a lot better. So I have to be on my toes to make sure all the farmers are coming out a lot more. Right now, they're asking the farmers to double up on their growth. So that's because people are definitely asking. They want to see what it is out here, and we're getting competitive. It's definitely a competitive market. You better know your menu. You better know how to pick. You better know what you like, and hopefully, what you like, other people like, because that's it. So what if I test it? So what if I test it and how about if nobody likes the way I do my steak or how I eat my whatever the hell. Like you like hard boiled eggs. I like fucking scrambled. That's how cannabis is. And so it's so hard to judge that and be able to buy from these people. So you got to deal with those people too. Like, how do you feel about your grow? How did it go out? Oh, I had a great grow. It was amazing. I think you guys are gonna like it. That's one. All right, let me smell it. Delicious. Oh, let me smoke it. And like I said, I've gotten wrong on some
Yeah.
people too. Just because I like it doesn't mean right. The price too, right? So like, how are we gonna get with that price? And that's basically that person who's putting it out. My friend, he has this hash vape. Love those damn hash vapes. Love them, right?
Oh yeah,
You
vape
know,
pens always
some
discreet. I
other
like the
people
vape
think
pens
I
under
love
my
them. I
because like
ordered
I'll
it,
have
right?
flour
But
like
other
at the
people,
end of the day or like a morning break that way at home.
yeah. Somebody comes in and he gave me a number, and then another brand comes in, it's half the number. And so, and then you got to
Yeah.
go with the customer, and the customer's gobbling up the half one. And so he's almost like helping them sell it
Oh yeah, definitely
by
pivoting.
having that. You know what I mean? So you have to learn how to pivot in this industry.
It's difficult, like when you like
Pivot,
dig in.
pivot, pivot. Anything that we come out of this, anything out of our session right now, us talking, hanging out, that's the number one thing I tell anybody. Make sure you know how to pivot. Don't hesitate because that's gonna kill you. If you feel like, you know what, I gotta move. If you feel it's wrong, it's probably wrong. So move, move. That's the whole thing that people dwindle on things, wait too long, and that's how I feel with the industry, with people with ordering too big of an order, over real estate. Like you think of thousands of people
Yeah.
in the beginning. If you were the first store, you did have lines around the corner. But if you're the
Yeah, it's really
500 store,
difficult that way. Like to me,
you're
like I
lucky you
covered
get
the
a couple of
seventh
people. You
dispensary
know what I mean?
ever in New Jersey, and now we're at like near 300. And like the near 300th is not like a special, and it's difficult. I
Yeah.
think in New York we have there's like a lot of the same issues. It's like a lot of people spend too much
Yeah.
money to rent for a shady motherfucker. Like the government try to help with like money and with like mixed results. For
Yeah.
example.
And that's where I get with the OCM. Like if you don't go over them and you try to work as hard as you can with them,
Oh, they
wait
help
your thing, that
you.
they will do that for me. They help me with the lease. They help me with the stuff. They help me because I was waiting and I didn't go rush. Like some people like, hey, I already have my real estate and you should give me my license because I have it. You're like, hey, you did that on your own. You know what I mean? I waited to make sure I got, hey, does this
That's
pass?
interesting about
Could I go
real
to the next
estate
step?
there to say like
Okay.
that.
And
How do
then,
they help
it
you
does
then?
take time. So, you got to get your own, but
Oh,
they
is it
help you
like
in the
in the
way that
green
is it going to
zone
pass
and like
inspection?
details? Oh
Is it
fuck.
going to, like, what is the lease number?
Oh really?
So you can't
I
really
think we're learning
gouge
something about
either.
New York is pulling ahead
You
here.
can't
Oh
gouge on
fuck
that
no.
rent. Yeah, they're
I
looking at
hadn't
it
heard
real
about that
hard.
in Jersey. I hear a lot of horror stories, man. Hell of horror stories.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
difficult.
They got horror stories here too, but if you they don't owe you nothing
Yeah.
just because you have a piece of real estate, and that's where a lot of people got burned. That they're gonna. This is a magical real estate corner. They want this place. They believe they're gonna sell so much cannabis,
Yeah, well, that's the
and
other
they're like,
thing,
"Hey, we
right?
already gave it to
You
two
might
more
have a
people
great
right around the
spot, but
corner.
then
Like,
so
what are
does
you
like
talking to them?"
another
We're like,
guy, and like we
"Don't
have like
go
a lot
ahead."
of that in Jersey, and then they're in a fucking knife fight. We got 3 dozen knife fights in three
Yeah,
dozen towns or so around here in Jersey.
yeah, yeah. Over here, opposite of what you guys
Right, so
did,
that's really
seventy
the thing to
percent
say.
opted
Like, I
out,
was trying to figure that
opted
out and
in,
say, like,
thirty
right,
percent
like most of
opted
these
out.
towns in New Jersey don't allow it. Like my hometown of East Brunswick has smoke shops, no dispensary. Like I'm living in Essex now. There's towns with neither. So
Yeah,
then it's interesting. But then, like, really everywhere. What? I'd say it's like
70 30,
it's
right?
like a roughly that there's definitely been
70 30,
towns that have
right? Over
opted
there.
in over
30.
time. It's definitely hard to track as well. Like I was trying my best at one point to track, and it's really difficult. And then like there's very few towns, and then like you hear a town like might get in, but then they might get out.
Yeah.
'Cause then it's like these very like I could call them the anti-marijuana ones, stupid fucking hicks. Other people just need to learn, then they haven't been properly informed. You haven't heard the
Number,
real word about
yeah.
the herb. You gotta get a good PDF packet. You gotta get lobbied. That was like the problem. Is like we spent all this time on fucking Trenton, and then it was like 500 fights like on the local level. You see Jersey there, 21 counties, more than 500 towns. California has less towns. Your mind is now blown.
Yeah. Yeah. See, exactly. Just nuts. In New York and like for instance, Manhattan and the Bronx. I can't say about any other thing, but any other borough right now. But I know for those two, per capita, the most churches,
Yeah.
the most daycares. So just with that itself, with those two rules, it's a nice
Right. So
because you
then, like,
can't
the
get in
church
just
is
because of
gonna be
that.
like
Not
a
because they
fucking
said
dick
no.
about it, and the daycare is
There's
gonna
just
be a
so many
fucking dick about
churches
it, as if you're
and
like a whorehouse or like a heroin, like crack house, like with a sign that says crack house. That's the way they basically see
yeah,
marijuana. These fucking churches and these
yeah,
fucking daycares to say like, because there's got to be liquor stores by
yeah,
them. There's got to be like, say like, is the church offended by liquor stores? I don't think a Catholic church would be.
yeah, yeah. I don't think that. Yeah,
Yeah, the land. You're right. The
and so
green zone
that
thing
kills
is even
everybody right
worse.
there. Just those two rules right there.
Right.
Then you got the high schools. Then you know what I mean. You got that you have a number for that too. You got a number for everything. Who you're going to be next to another dispensary. So you got all those rules. So right there, just even though they said yes, just those rules alone still breaks it down. We're back to you can't open up. You're like, and then when you open
Yeah.
up, you have to have at least a half a fucking $1 million to do it. And that I didn't you don't need to that to me. I wouldn't say that you really need that. If you think about it, to me, my advice would be think smaller, grow out your seams, and then get
Yeah.
better and
That's
move from there. But don't buy big first, and then us cannabis people, you know how we like it. We like to have weed every day different. If somebody gave me a joint, like you said, what you
right.
smoking on? Today I smoke one thing, tomorrow I'm smoking something else. So it's different for us cannabis people. So if you bought
Right. That's
everything
an
sour,
interesting thing about like the legal
I don't know
market.
if
And
you're
now
gonna
we're
do that
learning
good.
about different tastes, what
You
people
know? Yeah,
learn.
you might.
Like a lot of the consumers, they just want it to be fucking strong, and they want it to be cheap. So now, but like
Yeah,
some people, we're making progress. I've heard, learning about
yeah.
cannabinoids, like indica, sativa,
I,
trying to figure things out that way. Like the people that care, the heads, the
yeah,
consumers, we'll be like more into that Rosalia. I just need weed.
yeah, yeah. Depending on who comes in. A lot of the older people, they like the older names. They know, familiar to those names. They know what they got it on the illegal market. They want to taste how it in the legal market. And all that. They like to do that. They compare. Well, what does my boy got it for? What does the dispensary got it? I got people who just come in and just say, "I got $10. I got $10." That's it. They don't care. Just say, "Okay, I got some drinks for you. I got a dime bag. I got this $10 out the door with a pre-roll. What do you want?" And so like
Right.
we
Oh,
do
that's
have
a
that. Like
good point to bring
in the
up is like
illegal
the nature of
market,
the
it was
legacy
like you got
market
$10.
because
I'm
now
taking it.
it's difficult because you have like a legal dispensary has to kind of compete against some of the
Yeah,
underground guys, the smoke shop guys, shady bodegas.
yeah, definitely. I'm in a I think I'm in one of the strongest places for that with the culture and everything,
Right,
and
that's
the
the
people
catch, and that's
smoking
hard because
that.
then
It's
it's
gonna
like a
be
zero
hard.
sum
There's
game where it's
people
like,
all around
this
me
guy's
selling.
succeeding, I can't succeed. Fuck him. Let's call the cops on him versus like, oh, this is great. We can all just make money on weed.
Yeah,
But then it's like it's difficult with the red tape, these things, and then that's the interesting thing
yeah.
about.
I said it becomes
Right.
part of the menu. Then you got to know your menu, know your customers real quick, learn. And that's just becoming a big learning curve from when we started with the high time people prices. Now it's different. We
Oh,
got the
metric. Oh, a lot
metrics
of
now
times
in
people
the
over
city
metric. People
from
think it's
seed
annoying.
to sale. Yeah, we got a lot of controversy around it. It helps, like, it's like anything technology. You got to learn it. You got to fuck with it. It hurts a lot of the people who are. To me, I get it from them as I'm the bridge, right? I'm a bridge
Yeah, you're back.
dispensary,
We can see you. You look good there.
and
Go ahead.
oh, and so the dispensary, I'm the bridge, and then it comes the farm, and then in between those guys who have to like package it, and because like right now in New York they have a license three, which it could be any person,
Oh,
and you
that's
don't
a
even
hell
have
of
to
a
touch it.
thing
You could
about the
own
nature
something,
of
Hetty.
heady
You
and
could open up
business
your
and
own thing
figuring
in New
things
York.
out.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
open up your own brand and do that. You know what I mean? And open up your own brand here because with license three,
Right, all
you
right.
don't
There's
touch
more
it. You don't
license
touch the
types in New
cannabis.
York,
You
actually.
get to
That's like
pick
one
the
of the
cannabis,
funny
but you
things.
don't
Yes,
touch it.
you're almost describing.
I think different. Yeah, I think a little bit different. In Jersey, they could stack it. I could get every
Really? Well, like some of
license,
the licenses
but
had two
In New
things.
York, I
Because
could
then
just get
somebody
one
was telling me
license.
about like a micro, was like micro vertical with a license. And then I guess they have the Q in New York, was like the big thing.
If you have the micro, you could do.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have the
Yeah.
micro, yes, you
So you
could do.
can't get like a separate
You're allowed to do all
manufacturing,
of that.
growing, cultivation, like dispensary. That's they don't like vertical integration. Oh shit.
No.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Not yet. Not here.
That's
They're
the one
fighting
thing.
for it.
It's one of those
Definitely
things
fighting
that's like
for it.
big. Like they
We see
emphasize
Jersey could
super
do it.
like vertical integration, but then like you see a guy on the DL. You grow a thing, you sell a thing. You grow a thing, make a thing, sell a thing. That's vertical integration. The legacy can be vertically integrated. Legacy is
Yeah.
also national. You ship from Cali to Jersey.
Yeah.
Right, that's always like interesting.
When I was legacy, I was doing it all. So what does it matter?
Yeah, well, they're trying to
Give me
say
my
like the
license. Like you
ideals
should
of a
just give me my
market,
license. Don't worry about what I do with
compromise.
it.
It's very difficult, like all of this, and like we're all trailblazers here. Like ideally, like it works.
Well, the more that whoever says that and
Wait,
is thinking that way, you're just opening the door for the illegal market. If you're letting me do it and you're giving me check boxes and say, "Hey, what do you want to do?" Say, "Hey, I can do it all. What does it matter?" And then if I might fail at that because nobody wanted that big, but what does it matter for the state? You get paid for your licensing fee. You get everything. You know what I mean? Just don't make it such a big thing because that's the difference. When as an illegal, I don't have to ask you permission.
yeah.
And why are you
Then you
saying
look at the
no?
few
Don't you see
things.
everybody
Yeah.
just doing it? Just say yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's
The
what I would
nature of
like,
that.
Dad. That's what I would like.
Um,
Just say yes. Oh, I always thought of a tax stamp. My idea is give us a tax
like
stamp.
that's the
You
thing
want me
is
to pay
like
taxes? I pay taxes
legalization.
on all
Yeah,
of it. Give us a
there's
number.
like every state has like these
We'll pay a
million
tax
like
stamp.
red
Then we
tape, all these
grow.
compromises, regulators. It's difficult to have versus like the legacy ideal is much more like the American
All of
small
them.
business ideal of like a flea market thing, a bakery sale type like thing, tabling. It's very difficult and different, like the nature of like that ideal that you get like once in a while at like a flea market versus like American corporations and business.
Yeah. And like I said, to me, you would just be opening the doors for them to get legal. Let them get legal. Let them get legal. Like, here's your life. This is what you got to do. Be fast on what you're going to structure. Like, and go. Like, let some people who know some cannabis do it. I think, like you said, we go little by little. We are moving forward. I do feel that. I feel like we are leaning towards forward. You know what I mean? I don't feel like, oh, we're stunned or we're stopped anywhere. I think that we push the way we are. This industry, if another state does this one, this does this, and then here we are. I think that we just opened up the second
Oh
thing
well, we just got two people just
in
got
Jersey City. I think
permission.
that we opened
Yeah,
up the second
Gina by Haytham.
lounge, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we're definitely that'll be fun. Hmm?
They got permission, so that's That's big.
Oh, yo,
And then
Ice T, like the fucking national
at the
news that
same
like the
time, Ice
rapper
Cube
Ice
closes
T
because
that you know
I
from
don't know
like
why he closed. What
TV
happened?
as a cop and movies and like music. I was there last 420. It was insane. There were so many people there. Like I was late because I'd been to something else.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like you think it would last forever. It didn't even last 12 months. Not even 12 months. Ice T closed down. Raekwon's Hash Story in Newark closed the fuck down. Less than 12 months. Because the
That's
thing is they
crazy.
didn't really they had like all these people, but it was like national. They didn't really know how to go like local. It's kind of like really yeah. But it's like you
They don't
had
know how to go
they both like
local.
had like
They're
difficult
not thinking
locations.
about the local
Ice
people
T was
because they had a
basically on a
gold
highway
mine
where you
there.
get no foot traffic, and somebody was before. There was another dispensary on the highway before him, so then like you have to specifically. Yeah, that well, the closeness has been like a very big issue in
Yeah, I
crazy
couldn't believe
cities
that.
around
Why? How did
Jersey.
they give two
Everybody's in a knife
dispensaries
fight.
like
The
that close?
politicians don't really give a fuck that everyone's in a knife fight. Common sense.
That's weird, though.
Common
That's so
sense. This is
weird. Like
Jersey politics.
everybody
What do you
has a
mean
little
common
common
sense?
sense. Like, how you gonna give it on the same block?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, I definitely had to give it up to
Just common
Jersey Young and
sense.
compare and contrast. We are
What
making
we
more
gonna do,
progress.
man?
The
What we
legal
gonna do with
cannabis
these people?
lounges. Our very first lounges all opened the same week last July 2025. We have High Rollers, and we have Sunny Teen, Atlantic City, like nightclub, Boardwalk Empire style
Okay.
places. Then we have Ginseng in Merchantville, more of like my friend's basement vibes, kind of like hanging out. And then we have Urban in Newark.
I really thought New York was gonna copy Jersey. Well, as soon as they said that it was happening in Atlantic City, but they haven't
I
talked
really
about
thought
it.
New
It's
York
been
was
dead.
gonna
They did
copy
pass a
Jersey.
nursery license. Well, as soon as they said that it was
Oh, a
happening in
nursery
Atlantic
license,
City,
really?
but they haven't talked about it. It's been dead. They did pass the nursery
That's a big
license
issue,
though.
the nature of clones and plants. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that
they
means that
might
people could
New York's
sell
got a point there.
their
Damn, this
clones.
is a hard race, yo. Compare and contrast. And
Yeah.
trying to get Jersey to beat New
So
York, you got every Jersey boy's got like a little chip on the shoulder versus New
yeah,
York.
yeah. What do you think about this lady who's talking about it? Yeah. I can't wait till Jersey says yes to
On home
growing.
grow?
Oh, what do you think about this lady who's talking about that? You think she'll make any progress? I forgot her name. She just won. Yeah, she's talking about homegrown in Jersey.
Andrea?
She just won. I forgot the lady. She just won something. The lady.
Nah, damn. Mario might.
She she's voting. I don't know what her name.
Nice.
And she won. And she says that she's pushing for homegrown.
Yeah, like I probably know who you are, but like I don't know like by name.
Do you hear about her?
We have
Like,
like
is
a
she
few
talking
people
about
like
it? Is she
industry
making any
players
waves?
that are like for like Marta Figaro of Butter Cake has come out like for
Got
homegrown
it.
is strong. That way is good. We have like Andrea Rabel is like a patient advocate who's been like really fiery in the movement. Like Godey. Kristen Godey has like a lab of Trichome Analytical has been like pushing for it, for example. She's also in hemp stuff for example. So we have like a lot of good people like making progress, and we have like gotten like sponsors. In fact, we gotta go see if Gordon Johnson's sponsoring it. Your new state senator there, because that's a big issue.
Yeah, yeah. We got to go see. We got to
Yeah,
push them too. Like, anybody to me, anybody who says our cannabis word, I go follow through with them. And everybody has to do that with the pushing and help
yeah.
them. They, like if you're in it, it's a hard, it's a hard hill up. Well, I'm glad that we pushing forward. I'm glad that we're doing this right here, talking about it,
Well, I first
learning
I
stuff,
first got
talking
really.
about
I
it,
actually
things
had
on
the
how did you
anniversary of
get
the
into
first time I got
cannabis?
really
When's your
high.
first time?
20 years ago in January. I was a freshman at college at Syracuse University. My friend Alex introduced me to my
Yeah.
Alex Almendorf introduced me to Jay Symbol and Colin Timbers, living off campus. So we smoked a blunt. I had tried it like a couple times in high school, but like you take it like a drag, you're not really like holding it in. You don't like. like I wasn't really like impressed with weed because I never like held it in high school. Like we drank more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
like
yeah.
liquor and stuff in high school. So then it was like, okay, let's try this weed, and it's like, oh shit, this
It's
is
true.
really good weed. And I started asking them, am I high? And I was high, and we were watching The Sopranos, and it was great. And so, like, weed really always helped me as like a writer with anxiety. It helped me with like stomach issues. I really like believe in like the cause of justice. Like fighting on all fronts for like progress that way. So like weed really like got me like all the ways. Like I like that like like we can start talking about like a random person. You have something in common. It's like we're all both in on like a little secret, so then it's like even more like, oh, it's like more than like other things. To bond over like weed versus like, oh,
It's
you like
true.
art too.
It's
Everybody
true.
like kind of likes art, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's like yeah, no, no, it's like there's a different bond. Like when you have a niche to something, you go smoke. Like with me with graffiti, it was a niche. You get in trouble for it. People couldn't like, you know. So it's like, yo,
Oh,
my
that's
graffiti
funny. The
friend
the graffiti, the
and smoking some weed, and
anti-marijuana
not all my
graffiti
graffiti
artist.
friends smoke weed. I remember my friend Lou was like, "Get that weed out of here. I don't want to smoke." But he was one of the best graffiti artists. Yeah, I didn't smoke weed until literally like you
Oh
said
shit, but
about
you were
smoking
already
on
in
the
the
bus, the
game
Dan
then.
thing. But I didn't get high. I didn't really feel high until I was like 23 years old. And I really, yeah, I was really more. I was growing and everything, but I still hadn't got like. Even with my thing, I was very more like light about it. I wasn't like, oh man, I was sort of almost intimidated by it. And I was just like, yo, like people were addicted to stuff. So I was like, man, I don't know. But then one
Hash
time
plant.
I just fell in love with hash
Oh,
plant.
okay. It's an interesting name of it
That's my
because
favorite
there's a lot
cannabis
of times when you read through history and they talk
strain. My
about
favorite
hash
strain,
as
hash
like a
plant.
synonym for weed, but then like I guess concentrates were very big. Hash concentrates are very big in like India and the Middle East.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's always interesting. Yeah.
definitely love
Oh,
hash.
do I have a favorite? Like gelato and blue
Definitely
dream are
love
pretty
hash.
solid in general, I would say.
Yeah, what's your strain?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Green crack
I
is
got a
a
Blue Dream
terrible name,
House,
but
yes,
like
the other
good for
day.
the stomach with the
About to
CBG.
smoke that. My whole month is Blue Dream.
Yeah,
I
it's very
love
good. It's
green
got this.
crack.
Like we were talking
Yeah,
about cannabinoids
you're
and
right
like
about the
how this
green
is
crack. It was a
medicine. Like
terrible
the shit
name,
has
but shit is
CBG. Like to
delicious.
me, it's like an over-the-counter medicine. I don't need to go to the fucking doctor. I don't need to get a fucking prescription. I know what I need from the shelf. Thank you. I get my omeprazole for stomach acid that way too. For example, now too is over-the-counter OTC. So it's interesting comparing, contrasting these things. Not everybody wants to talk about the nature of it being medicine and sickliness versus let's just have fun on weed instead of drinking. Oh, I prefer weed to drinking. Much healthier.
Big time. Like it doesn't even compare.
Yeah.
Big time. Like it just doesn't even compare. To me, it's like it doesn't compare. I love,
Yeah.
I don't drink, so I've been it's not like I haven't drunk before. There's just such a difference. I'm like, I don't need to. I'm so happy without it. Like, it's just nothing. Like, I wouldn't be able if I was drinking. I guess it depends on the business that you're doing, how you're doing it. You're drinking, you're
Right.
not even making it. Like, not in the cannabis thing, not in my
Yeah.
dispensary. I would be. It'd just be a whole other thing. I think. I think. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm running over to the shop right now because we're getting ready for the baseball season starts tomorrow. Yankees,
Oh, that's interesting.
so
Right.
it's
Have
going to
we
be
noted
big.
that your
The
shop is
Yankee
right by
season
the
starts. That's
Yankee
big for
Stadium?
us
Which
because we're
state are
like a
you
seasonal
too?
shop, big time.
Nice.
We are 700 feet away from Yankee Stadium. Yeah, we are right there. I see the flags. I see the stadium. You look up when you come up. So it's a big thing to have that tomorrow. Like I said, it's the opening day.
Nice.
So we're already ready. We bought all our stuff. Our things are full, and we're ready to go. And people come in. They buy a lot of stuff. They like it. The neighborhood's really hugging me. A lot of people come. Even the fucking dealers come in. They want to see what we got. and they buy and they try, and I do the same for them. I'm like, come on, man, here, let me have some of that good weed. And we like, we still have a camaraderie. We love cannabis, so we got to get along together. The way they put us, that's what I say when I talk to them. They're like, oh man, I say, hey, I was there a minute ago. I had to take my chance. I came out of jail, so that's why I went legal. I didn't want to go back to jail, my man. You want to do that? Come on, and I try to help them. Anybody who needs help and hears this from us and needs any help with opening up a dispensary, and you need to ask me any questions, let me know. Hit me up, DM me, call Dan, let him know we need to
So
talk.
now
And,
we had our Women in Cannabis.
we got an event coming up right now.
Jersey.
That's all
We're
it's
gonna have
about, right?
South
We got
Jersey
events
gathering
coming
at
up.
the
When is it?
USCW Union Hall, Saturday, June 6th, 1 to 5, Berlin, New Jersey. Right off the highway there. We want a good gathering of like people in the industry, of the community to like learn and enjoy themselves. We're gonna have like a great party. It's gonna be June. We got some land to play outside. We might have some entertainment as well as a panel by yours truly. So it should be good, yeah. No, we're in the works of developing that.
Nice.
So yeah, hope everybody. Yeah, no
Definitely,
doubt.
we're gonna
No
have some
doubt.
art. We're gonna make it a fun time. Nice little a dope sesh we're gonna have. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
I'm
Christmas now.
excited
Yeah.
about that. I'm so happy. 420 right
Yeah,
around the
yeah,
corner
18 days.
already. I
It's
can't
like
believe it.
sweet
Countdown.
Christmas that way, right? It's hard to think of
Countdown.
like
You got 18
celebrating
days.
Christmas,
18 days.
working
Countdown.
Christmas, kind of
That's
too.
crazy.
'Cause now I gotta plan like an article. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna have cannabis to sell. Like this is what we got all
Oh
the
no,
time. I
that's
mean, we're
that's
open
fun. But yeah, I
365.
think
No, we open up
this has been a good
363
conversation to wrap it
days.
up
We close 2
about
days.
now. Do we have any final
Yeah.
thoughts, Mario?
Definitely, love cannabis. Dan, I love talking with you because I know you love cannabis as much as I do. Definitely, love cannabis. Dan, I love talking with you because I know you love cannabis as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? So I know it. I see it in your face. I'm happy to work with you. I love Jersey. Jersey, definitely, always Jersey. New York people hug me.
Thank you.
And so I'm so happy about that. And, applause to the industry.
Yeah, no
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying?
Oh, I've been
Big
waiting to
applause to
walk
the
into a
industry,
lounge like
man. Let's
Henry
keep it
walks
going
into the
forward.
Copa and
I can't wait
Goodfellas
to
for
me
about
and you
5
hanging out
fucking
at the
years
lounge.
now, y'all. Like you said, shout out to Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Let's
It's like
do
a
it,
noise
baby.
guy,
We're gonna do it
saying
just like
hello,
that.
giving tips in the back ways, get like VIP seating that way. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah. So yeah,
That's
it's been
right. That's
awesome.
right.
Thank you everybody for
I
tuning
can't
in.
wait. I can't wait to see what
We
they
got
do.
our podcast now, the Heady Chronicle. This show, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. We have our articles, headynj.com by myself, yours truly, and some of our good freelancers and guest writers, and Heady underscore NJ at Instagram and elsewhere. So thank you everybody.
Bringing you a lot.
No doubt.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. That's right. We're gonna be bringing you a lot. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.